up, King Cats? Today is Monday, December 5th. I am just chilling here at the gym, waiting for Katie and Hayden and John to get here. I have some glutes and hamstrings to train today. I have a glute and hamstring load day. This morning I had a final. I had my sports psych final. Who vlogs during finals week? Apparently I do. Actually, I find I'm more productive on days when I vlog, so I guess that's why. But it is finals week. I can taste freedom. It's right there, and it tastes like a warm cookie. I can feel it. So to all of my fellow college students who are either in finals week or approaching finals week, I am praying for you and for success on your exams and for low stress, because I know how stressful this time of year can be. So yeah, I'm just waiting for my friends to get here so we can lift. Welcome to the video. Alright, so for today's workout, just have a black Swiftly long sleeve from Lulu, then the GYMSHARK Blackberry Marl sculpture leggings. These are restocked today, not sculpture leggings, flex leggings, but these and the sculpture leggings are restocked today. This video should be going up on Wednesday, so they are restocked today. I'm a small right now in my growing season, and then when I'm stage lead, I'm an extra small, and I'm 5'9", and I'm wearing just some Lulu leg warmers and my gazelles. Time to get started. I will change it to my squat shoes to squat though, because in squat shoes is what I squatted. Here we go. Hey you guys, so I just wanted to sit down and make just a bit of an informational clip. Like I've said in videos ad nauseum, I like this to be a place where you guys can learn, and I also noticed on my last video, my informative glute workout, and just recurring comments over the course of past videos, especially where I'm like talking training stuff. There's a lot of people asking me, hey, can you break this down? Can you explain these terms? I'm kind of new to this. And I guess I just kind of forget how many beginners there are on my channel. And if you are a beginner, please leave a comment and let me know. If you're new to training, new to macros or dieting or whatever, please let me know, because I want this to be a place for everyone to learn. So if I can help explain something to you, I absolutely want to do it. So what I wanted to do in this clip is just explain some basic training terms to you guys. Break them down, tell you what they are. I am a kinesiology major, so this is my stuff. And I just know that the kind of content that I like watching the most is informative content. So when I'm thinking of creating, YouTube videos or Instagram posts or whatever, I try to think of, well, what do I enjoy engaging with? So informative stuff is my jam. I can only, show you how I pour my coffee in the morning so many times, or like walk out the door so many times. And that just it doesn't have as much value to me. Like, I love vlogging, I love showing you my daily life and everything like that, but I love learning, so let's learn. So let's start with types of contractions. One type of contraction is an isometric contraction. What this means is there's no change in joint angle. So think of something like a plank. You're not moving at all, it's a static contraction. So that is an isometric contraction where there's no change in joint angle. Or if you hold something overhead and you just do static holds there, again, isometric contraction because there's no change in joint angle. But as soon as you change that joint angle, something else starts happening, and it's a different kind of contraction. Moving along, second type of contraction would be the concentric portion of a movement. So a really simple way to think about the concentric portion, also known as the positive of a contraction, is moving against gravity. So if you take the example of a bicep curl, you're moving against gravity when you're curling the weight up. Think of it as contradicting gravity. A third type of contraction is the eccentric portion of a movement. So opposite of concentric, you have the eccentric, also known as the negative portion of a movement. This is when you're moving with gravity. So again, you take the bicep curl, it's when you're lowering the weight back down because you have gravity helping you down. If you take something like a squat, the eccentric portion of the movement is when you are squatting down. The concentric motion of the movement is when you're going against gravity and trying to lift the weight back up. So we just talked about types of contractions. Let's move on to types of exercises. So you hear people talk about, one, compound movements all the time. What a compound movement is a multi-joint movement. So you think of things like a squat, a deadlift, an overhead press, a bench press. What this means is these are multi-joint movements. So if you think of the squat, on the eccentric portion of the movement, so the lowering phase, this involves hip, knee, and ankle flexion. And then on the way up, on the concentric portion of the movement, you have hip and knee extension as well as ankle dorsiflexion. So you see there's multiple joints involved, the hip, the knee, and the ankle. These are commonly placed at the beginning of a workout because you can move more weight, I guess is the best way to say it. And these recruit more muscle fibers than an isolation movement or a single joint movement, which we'll talk about in just a second. So you generally recruit more muscle fibers with compound movements than with isolation movements due to action at multiple joints and just a lot of muscles involved. You know, again, if you think of a deadlift, you're using like every muscle in your body pretty much. Moving into isolation movements, number 2. Isolation movements, contrary to compound movements, isolation movements are generally single joint movements. So if you think of something like a bicep curl, all you have going on is flexion at the elbow. Your shoulder joint is stable, or it should be, and all you have going on is flexion and extension of the elbow. Whereas with a squat, like we said, there's hip, knee, ankle flexion and extension going on. Isolation movements are generally placed after compound movements. They're more specific, they use less muscle fibers in general, and they're more like, I think of detail work, I guess you could say. So another commonly used training term, this is one that I toss around a lot, is volume. Volume, long story short, is a measurement of the amount of weight lifted. So generally you take the number of sets you're doing times the number of reps in each set times the weight that you use for each set, and that calculates your volume for that particular lift. And why volume is important? Volume is one of the 3 main drivers of muscle growth. So the other 2 would be frequency and intensity. So people talk about with volume, your volume needs to fluctuate over time in order to grow a muscle, in order to progress your strength, etc. Then moving on to types of training. So hypertrophy training, what that means, hypertrophy is, muscular growth. Training for muscle growth, that's when your muscles break down after a training session and then they repair to build a larger muscle. So this is commonly the 8 to 12 to even 15 rep range in some cases, and it's most commonly implemented by bodybuilders because the goal is to grow bigger muscles, to change the way your body looks, to build your body. Bodybuilding. You can still get stronger in hypertrophy ranges. You can still, if you start a program and you're doing Romanian deadlifts for sets of 8 at 100 pounds, you progress over time to be able to do, 120 pounds for sets of 8 or something like that. You can still get stronger in hypertrophy rep ranges, but hypertrophy training in general is defined as training for muscular growth, muscle breakdown, and repair. So then you compare that to strength training. This is generally pushing for strength at a particular lift in usually a smaller rep range. Generally 5 reps or less is typical for strength training and strength progression. Working for 1 rep maxes, singles, doubles, triples, things of that nature. This is most commonly used by powerlifters and weightlifters. Just quick note, weightlifting with a capital W is the sport of Olympic weightlifting. So there's a difference between weightlifting and just lifting weights. Weightlifting with a capital W, that is snatch and clean and jerk. Then, progressive overload, that's another commonly used one. In order to grow a muscle, in order to get stronger, you need progressive overload, which generally just means doing more over time. That can be, increasing your training frequency. That can be doing a heavier weight. That can be adding more repetitions, etc. So progressive overload, progressively overloading the muscle, so progressively doing more over time. Then we have the term power building. So power building is kind of a combination of strength training and hypertrophy training. It's utilizing, generally with compound movements, more strength rep ranges, and then also incorporating hypertrophy. So combining principles from training for strength and training for muscular growth at the same time. And then last term I want to leave you guys with is anthropometrics. So anthropometrics is basically the study of human measurements and levers. I kind of mentioned this briefly in the last video, how I said, your personal anthropometrics will change the way that you lift and all of that. So your personal levers will change the way lifting is tailored to you, and also change the way you look when you lift. So people talk about squat mechanics a lot, and deadlift mechanics and things of that nature. And so your mechanics, your personal mechanics, do you have a long torso? Do you have long femurs? Do you have short arms? This, that, the other thing, that will affect the way you look when you lift. That will affect your setup, your ideal setup for your lifts, and things like that. So those are some basic training terms that I think everybody should know. Hopefully that was helpful to you guys. If it was, please leave a comment below. That's my main goal with this channel, so you noticed. I want this to be a valuable place for you guys to come. Like I mentioned in my video, bodybuilding.com was an amazing resource to me when I first started, and it still is. So something that they have is a training terms library, A through M and then N through Z. So I will link that in the description box below, where they talk about a lot of these terms and even more. So if you want to check out that article, that is a great resource from bodybuilding.com, just as is everything on bodybuilding.com. And I'll see you in the next clip. All right, so I got some cream of rice in here with some egg whites, and then I got my coffee over here, my pretty flowers. So we've got just a good quick digesting carb with a quality protein source for that post-workout fuel. And then watching Mariana, she's one of my favorite YouTubers. She makes really good videos. So if you're not subscribed to her, you should be. So I'm gonna eat this up real quick. This is, people are always like, why do you eat cream of rice so much? I'm like, because it's good. I like it. It's a great post-workout carb source. Add some protein in there and you're good to go. I'm a simple person. I like to keep my food simple, keeps my digestion on point, all the good stuff. All right, so I'm just cooking up some dinner. I've got some broccoli and cauliflower steaming in here. We got some red potatoes, and then I got some just bulk tilapia from Bite. I'm gonna cook that all up and add some coconut oil. And yeah, so tilapia has a terrible reputation in the fitness industry because of all the bad coaches that put people on tilapia and asparagus 6 times a day. By the way, if your coach does that, red flag, waving it, hello. And I used to hate tilapia, or just like whitefish in general, because I was like, oh my god, it's like the evil fish in fitness. And I had to eat a lot of it my first prep, so I was kind of like over it. And it kind of weirded me out when it would get that weird jelly stuff on it when you would like meal prep it and then refrigerate it. Tilapia jelly, no. But I got some of the bulk tilapia from Bite, and actually their tilapia tastes good. They season it well. Everything from Bite tastes good. Let's just be real. They season it well. They cook it well. Jacqueline is a master. So yeah, I'm gonna cook this up and I will show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, there it is. And actually, I've been working on editing this video. I'm trying out Final Cut because everybody talks about it. And I like it so far. It's pretty nice. Like I said, tilapia has a bad rep, but there's also like some misconceptions about tilapia. No, it will not thin your skin. I will wake up tomorrow and my skin will be the exact same thickness as it was today. It does not thin your skin. Also, myth number 2, it's dark outside. There's carbs in this, AKA the red potatoes. And I'm not gonna just magically get fat. Like, you can eat carbs after dark. Do these myths still, like, are they still permeating? Do these myths still exist? Do people still believe this stuff? Leave a comment below. Also, I'm really excited because I got the email that my flights for Boise and LA were booked today. So I'm super duper stoked for that. And then also, I just saw this on YouTube. If you have an Android, bodybuilding.com did come out with an Android app, their Be Daily Fitness app. So go look at their video for details on that. That's exciting, but I'm getting really stoked to go out to Boise and LA. I'm just like super pumped. That's where I'm gonna wrap this video up for today. If you guys enjoyed, I really enjoyed making more informational content. Like, I enjoyed sitting down and editing this and just talking about it. So if you guys have any suggestions for, you know, more beginner's tips or educational videos, things of that nature, if you want to see a beginner's tips for nutrition, basic terms with nutrition, dieting, macros, whatever, leave a comment below. Any suggestions are welcome. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That lets me know that you liked it. And make sure you check out the GYMSHARK restock that I mentioned earlier in my video. And I will see you guys in the next one. All right, thank you so much for your support. I love y'all. I hope you're having a good day, and see you later. Bye! Bye! M says bye. Bye from the M's. Bye! Bye!